Hello, this is Dr. Harrison, coming to you from my covert casa somewhere in Bristol, Virginia. And this week we're looking at the Chinese religions. Chinese religions, all Eastern religions, are very difficult for us in the West to understand because their concepts of reality and metaphysics, those type of things, are very different, very different from our way of looking at things, our scientific world in the Western part of the world. So we're going to be looking at those. They share many things in common. The two we're going to be looking at is Confucianism and Taoism. And they share certain commonalities. For instance, yin and yang, which are two opposing things. They complement one another, they're interdependent, and yet they're not the same. There's sort of a tension that takes place. Also, the concept of the Tao. The Tao is like a river. It is the life force. Actually, it is the example or the thing that was used as a backdrop for the Force in all the series for Star Wars. The Tao is like a river, and we get in trouble if we try to resist the Tao. It's like stopping mid-river. In a fast-flowing river, we feel the tension if we try to stop the Tao. The best thing to do is to flow with the Tao. Now, the Tao is the mother of all things. It is the life force. It is that which brings all existence together. And both Confucianism and Taoism recognize this concept of the Tao. Now, in Taoism, Taoism sort of was given to us from a gentleman by the name of Lao Tzu. We don't know if he was a historical person or not. There are many people who doubt it. If you look at Chinese paintings, old Chinese writings, he's depicted as riding on a water buffalo out through the country, teaching other people. And so he goes about and he writes a book referred to as the Da Ling, and from this he gives the people how they should live, what they should do. Now, Taoism is a very ethic-driven type of religion, as is Confucianism. The idea is to be in harmony with the universe, to be at one with all things, and there's no coincidence that Taoism is the religion that brings to us most of the martial arts. Now, the other religion that we're looking at is Confucianism. Confucius was a teacher. He also believed in the principles of the Tao, of the yin-yang, but he also brought about the concept of teaching moral good. He believed that a society could be good because human beings are good. So therefore you can teach people to be good. Now, he believed in what was called the superior man, sometimes referred to as the Junzi. And the Junzi we would call a righteous man who lives by certain principles. And these principles are to put them in harmony with society and with nature. For instance, compassion and kindness, which is called the Ren. These are things that Confucians all practice. The idea of being genuinely human and learning to be good, particularly through music and poetry. These are things that feed the goodness in your soul. You are considered to be upright and honest in all your dealings, to be forgiving to other people. You should be sincere in all your words. You should be earnest, and you should be generous in all things. These are the things that in Confucianism, if you practice, you become a good human being. So you can see that in Confucianism and in Taoism, human beings are seen as being very powerful. They control their life. If they just practice certain things, they will be good under their own power. Okay? It's very difficult to understand exactly what is the absolute other than the Tao, finding this life force and being one with the life force. Okay, so those are some of the Chinese religions you'll be looking at this week. And it'll be very interesting for you, but don't get too frustrated if it doesn't always click together. Because as I said, Eastern thinking is so different from Western thinking. So, that's it for this week. And I hope you have a good week. And remember this little bit of wisdom from Lexington, Georgia, my hometown. Just because the cat has kittens in the stove, that doesn't make them biscuits.